One of the best ways to stand out in your job interview is to write down a list of your strengths and weaknesses beforehand. During your job interview, you are going to have to answer the difficult question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? You must make sure your strengths stand out from the other candidates and also help add value to the company, and you must also make sure your weaknesses are not a match for the job description. So if you have a job interview coming up soon for any role or company, please make sure you watch this tutorial. Also, don't forget to tell me the name of the job you are applying for in the comment section below the video, and I will give you some extra tips to help you pass. Please hit the subscribe button and also give the video a like, because that really does energize and motivate me to create more brilliant content for you. Thank you very much indeed. To help you pass your job interview at the first attempt, I will cover 4 things in this video. Number 1, I will tell you the 7 best strengths for job interviews that are guaranteed to impress every hiring manager. These strengths are really powerful. Number 2, I will then tell you the 5 best weaknesses for job interviews that will do you no harm. Number 3, I will then teach you a brilliant trick for answering the interview question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? And then finally, number 4, I will give you 2 top scoring example answers to the interview question, what are your strengths and weaknesses, that will score highly in your job interview, and all you have to do is choose the one answer option you think is the strongest. Strength number 1 for job interviews is a fantastic one, and that is to say that you have a strong work ethic. Now, if I were attending a job interview, that would definitely be one of my strengths. I would say one of my greatest strengths is I have a strong work ethic. Now, when you have a strong work ethic, it means the following things. It means that you are a self-starter. You do not have to be told what to do. You simply get on with your work. And having a strong work ethic also means that all of your work is completed on time and to a very high standard. Strength number 2 for job interviews is another really powerful one. And that is to say that you are adaptable. This is such a good strength. Now, if you are adaptable in your work, it means that you are going to be flexible with your job description, and that's really good for the employer. So I would say another one of my greatest strengths is I am adaptable. I will willingly conduct duties that are outside of my job description when required to assist the company in times of need. Strength number 3 for job interviews, again, is guaranteed to grab the attention of the hiring manager, and that is to say that you are a good problem solver. Now, the issue in the workplace is the majority of people, whenever problems occur, will leave them for other people to deal with. Those type of people are the ones the hiring manager does not want to employ. So when you say that you're a really good problem solver, it means that you always take ownership of challenges to achieve a successful outcome for your team. That is a brilliant strength. Strength number 4 for job interviews is a rare one, but it's very powerful nonetheless. And that is to say that you are frugal. What does that mean? Well, if you are frugal, it means that you have a cost-conscious approach to your work. It means that you try to help the company save money by being responsible when using company supplies and resources. You encourage other people in the team to do the same, and you also try to find ways to streamline company systems and processes to make them more efficient. Again, that is a really good strength. Strength number 5 is one that is used most often in job interviews, but if you use a different word, it makes it more powerful. Now, most people say, one of my strengths is I am a good team worker. It's a good strength for a job interview, but when you use a different word, it has more impact. And that word is collaborator. So you can say, one of my greatest strengths is I am a really strong collaborator. This means you work closely with your work colleagues and you always act selflessly to achieve the team's combined objective. Strength number 6 is another rare one, but again, it's one I would use in my job interview. And that is to say that you are a good communicator. When you're a good communicator, it means that you know how to communicate professionally with stakeholders, work colleagues, other departments, and more importantly, customers and clients. So when you communicate effectively, either in person, on the telephone, or in writing, it means that you are acting as a positive role model for the organization. So you can say, I am a really good communicator who will act as a positive role model for the company. In a second, I'm going to tell you the 5 safest weaknesses for job interviews. But before I do that, let me tell you what the final 7th best strength is. This is another great one. And that is to say that you have good attention to detail skills. Now, if you have good attention to detail skills, it means that you pay attention when you are being told what to do, but more importantly, you rarely make any mistakes, and that's really good for the hiring manager. In this next section of the training video, I'm going to tell you the 5 safest weaknesses for job interviews. Now, the majority of candidates, when answering the question, what is your biggest weakness, will say either I don't have any weaknesses, or they'll say my biggest weakness is I am a perfectionist. Do not say either of those things. You have to give a weakness in your answer and also explain what you are doing to improve on the weakness. So let's now work through the 5 safest weaknesses. Here they are. Weakness number 1 is as follows, and that weakness is asking for help. You can say one of my biggest weaknesses is I find it difficult to ask for help when I need it. Now, that's a really good weakness because it shows that you want to do things yourself, and also that you always take pride in your work. So weakness number one for job interviews that will do you no harm is to say that you find it difficult to ask people for help. Weakness number two is perfect for the vast majority of job interviews, and that is to say that your weakness is public speaking. So you can say, one of my biggest weaknesses is I have no experience in public speaking. This means you haven't previously given talks or presentations to large groups of people. But you can say, I'd like to improve on this weakness, so if there are ever any opportunities in this role for me to give talks or presentations to my team, I would like to give it a try. Strength number three for job interviews is to say that you are not very good at delegating. You can say, I prefer to do things myself because they will then be done to a high standard. However, I do understand that not delegating to others in the team is not conducive to effective collaboration, and I am trying to force myself to give tasks to other people when required to improve team output. Weakness number four is definitely my biggest weakness, and that is impatience. Now, if you are an impatient person, it means that you have a strong hurry up driver. So I am the type of person who has a really strong hurry up driver. I am an incredibly impatient person. I want things done now. Now that is really good for the workplace because it tells the hiring manager you want to get things done as quickly as possible. However, it can be a weakness because other people might not have the same driver as you do. But it is a really good weakness for job interviews because it tells the hiring manager you will probably do more work than the average person. Now, in a second, I'm going to give you two brilliant scripted answers to the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? But before I do that, I want to do one of two things. Give you the fifth and final weakness, and then also tell you that trick for answering the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So here is the final fifth weakness. Difficulty saying no to people. Now this is a really common weakness. You find it difficult to say no to people because you are a people pleaser. You don't like saying no to people because you don't want to let them down. However, not being able to say no to people means you sometimes overcommit. That's a great weakness. Now, my trick for answering the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses, is to make sure you give a minimum of 3 strengths. Don't give any less than 3 strengths. 3 is really good. Tell the hiring manager what the strength is and how it's going to impact their company positively. And then, even though the question says, what are your strengths and weaknesses, I recommend you only give 1 weakness. Don't give any more than that, but make sure that one weakness is not a match for anything listed on the job description. So my brilliant trick for answering the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses, is give at least 3 strengths and then only 1 weakness. In this next section of the training video, I'm going to give you 2 top scoring example answers to the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Now you will notice in the first answer option, I give you several different strengths, but again, these will definitely impress the hiring manager. You might decide to use these strengths in your interview as opposed to the 7 I previously gave you. So listen to both answers and then please tell me in the comment section below the video which answer option, 1 or 2, you think is the strongest. Here's answer option number 1. What are your strengths and weaknesses? My greatest strengths include commercial awareness, responsiveness and collaboration. I am commercially aware, meaning I must do great things in my work to ensure your business succeeds and to give you a good return on my salary. I am responsive, meaning I act quickly and only need to be told to do something once. My collaboration abilities mean I support my co-workers while focusing intently on the team's objectives. Now, my biggest weakness is that I struggle to say no to people. If someone asks me to help them or to take on extra work, I instantly say yes, which sometimes means I overcommit. However, I am taking steps to improve on my weakness to ensure I assess my capacity for additional work before committing. That is a great answer. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Answer option number 2. Here we go. My greatest strengths include being cost conscious, bringing creative ideas to a team, and problem solving skills. I am the type of employee who takes care of company supplies and resources to help save money. Being a creative person, I can bring fresh ideas to the team to help the business grow. In my last role, I suggested we implement a feedback form on our website to gather new product ideas from customers. I am the type of employee who takes ownership of problems when they occur as opposed to leaving them for other people to deal with. Finally, my biggest weakness is public speaking. I don't yet have any experience of giving talks to groups of people. However, if there are any opportunities in this role for me to give a presentation to my team, I would like to give it a try. Okay, so there you have it. 2 brilliant top scoring answers to that question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Don't forget to tell me in the comment section below the video which job you are applying for and also which answer option, 1 or 2, you would use in your interview. Now, the next thing to do to accelerate your learning even further is click the link right now in the top right hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download my brilliant 77 unique top scoring answers to difficult interview questions. So you get the answers I just gave plus an additional 76 powerful responses to difficult interview questions. I have created all of these answers myself based on my 30+ years as a recruitment expert and hiring manager. You can have all of these answers in your inbox within 2 minutes from now, and they are guaranteed to put you ahead of the competition at every job interview you ever attend. If you want this guide, click that link. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and also connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always an honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the very best for passing your job interview. Have a great day.